Glossing over what's going on in Russia in this era in a way that would make Dr. Hancock Palmer shake his head, there's a revolution that in many ways is responsible for Russia leaving World War I a bit on the early side, and also is responsible for Russia losing a lot of its territory post-World War I. Following that revolution, its leaders attempt to set up what is considered a Marxist society, a society based on collective action of workers. This is very much following the ideas of Marx and Engels. The problem with this is that Russia is not an industrial society. It's still very much agriculture. It hasn't developed factories. It's still reliant on peasant labor. In 1917, V.I. Lenin and his party of Bolsheviks take over. Over time, Lenin is eclipsed by the gentleman you see on the right here, Joseph Stalin, who really focuses on instituting kind of some of the ideas of Marx and Engels, but applying them in a way that he thinks is appropriate to Russia's agricultural background. He institutes huge, massive scale farming, but the result of this is that such dramatic changes really don't take into account the rhythms of agriculture that people have been engaged in for forever, doesn't take into account how quickly industrialized farming can deplete soil, and it ends up resulting in a huge famine. 3 million Ukrainians in what is considered really the breadbasket of the Soviet Union die. And people who speak out against this government, which increasingly becomes totalitarian, controls all arms of state, are increasingly targeted. Millions of people are arrested. Hundreds of thousands are executed, largely with bullets to the back of the head. Hundreds of thousands, probably more, are sent to work prisons called gulags in places like Siberia, where folks just tend to disappear. And what we see is an increasingly authoritarian Soviet Union that's withdrawing itself from everywhere else, that is focusing the power in the hands of a very select few of individuals, and is potentially creating some problems with other spheres of influence that Western European countries have.